By a golden estuary in West Wales lies the community of Llanelli. It has a familiar story to tell. It once had a proud industrial past, but fell on hard times. Now its people are struggling to survive a recession. It's a tale you know from the headlines, but we'll show the human stories behind them. Some are having their lives blighted by bankruptcy.
It's just, you know, the £360 and £150 in court fees, it's 500 odd quid. I can't pay my bills of less than £100, so how can I afford to pay £500 to go bankrupt?
Others are striving to forge a brighter, more prosperous future.
There's a big relief the whole county will come on, it's a question of inward investment, that's all about.
Some are living the good life. Other people are far less privileged.
I didn't go to jail anyway.
There are people of opposites, of hope and despair, success and failure. And these are their stories. Originally built on tin plate and steel, Llanelli's industrial past has long gone. Sitting on a stretch of spectacular coastline, the town is now constructing a future based on leisure and tourism. But for many businesses in Llanelli, the financial benefits of this growing leisure industry have yet to materialise. Paul Williams's minicab firm has been badly affected by the downturn. With too few people using his fleet of cabs, Paul's debts total almost £50,000. He's now facing bankruptcy.
It all started for me last Christmas, and every month this year hasn't recovered. It's been down on last year. I can't afford to pay the finance on the vehicles and everything to do with the company. I haven't got enough money. I'm not making enough money to pay the bills. I've run my own business now for 4 years. It's something I've always wanted to do since I came out of school. And, you know, I finally done it 4 years ago. And for it to be taken away from me now, it's devastating, devastating.
All right, Will. We're in the same room again.
Okay, thank you.
So, just to go back to last Friday, we went through some options that you had.
So I think it's got to be bankruptcy, I think.
Okay. Have you got the bankruptcy forms then?
Yeah.
Cash in hand, actually, physical cash.
0.
Cash in the bank, building society or a summer account?
Or bank
Post office, nothing?
Overdraft is up to its limit.
Okay.
Like the first step is a big thing. You know, you go into the Citizen Advice Bureau was a big thing for me. You know, admitting that I had a problem was a big thing. Obviously, bankruptcy isn't something that anybody could take lightly. You know, it's not something that I really wanted to do, and I still don't feel comfortable doing it now, but I've got no other option. The glimmer of hope that I'm having is the fact that I might be able to keep the car and carry on trading. If they do allow me to keep the car and I can carry on trading, then yeah, it will be a major worry off my mind, because the way I'm looking at it at the moment is, obviously, if I lose everything, I've got to go out and find another job, and at the moment jobs internationally are just non-existent.
In the town's old industrial heartland, there's another business whose trouble started several months ago. Spencer Davies Engineering had been manufacturing industrial products for 35 years. The father and son team had to deal with their order book drying up practically overnight as the recession bit. Owain and his father Spencer had no choice but to fold their company and make its entire workforce redundant. But now, 2 months later, things are looking up.
Hello.
They've launched a new company with a different name, and with a small trickle of orders coming in, have re-employed some of the original staff, this time on short-term contracts. Owain believes that restructuring the business will give them a better chance of surviving the recession.
Well, start of a new beginning. A new brand, a new image in the back of the van. So it's straight out and straight up and tell the world that there's a new company here, hopefully. This is the new company name on the new sign, Amany. It's a Welsh word that means to design and to be progressive. And I think it reflects our business and our culture and our way of working. Iawn.
A new era, end of an old.
It's good, isn't it? Shading.
After 35 years, it's as we can see, we've got a new name, a new beginning. So we'll see how the younger generation manage it.
"68 years of age and still climbing around like a monkey. Determined to go up there himself rather than leave me do it. What can I say?
You wouldn't know how.
Line manager Martin Evans has also joined the new company. He has the unenviable task of deciding which men to re-employ.
We've done a skills matrix of what everyone can do, and we've picked the most flexible, I think, and that you know, touch wood, is working. Hopefully, as we add to the order book, like I say, we'll be able to consider taking on a few more people. But at the moment, we're keeping our feet on the ground and running with what we've got.
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones where it's gone from, I think, 20, 25 down to, I think there's only 6 of us on the shop floor now. I felt a bit guilty in the beginning, to tell you the truth, but I got to look after myself. You know, I hope them boys find jobs. Hopefully we get enough work here that we can bring other boys back.
With a more flexible workforce, Spencer hands a newer and more nimble company over to his son.
Well, I like it anyway.
There we are. I can now officially hand over to the younger generation. There it is.
However, even Amcany's future is uncertain. They only have 3 months' work in their order books. A few miles outside Llanelli at Pembrey, Captain Winston Thomas is preparing his airport for the grand opening of the brand new Force-Last racecourse. It's a multi-million-pound development designed to attract new money into the area. Winston wants to capitalise on it and is hoping the new racecourse will bring more aircraft and revenue into his cash-strapped airport.
It takes a while, really. It takes at least 35 minutes, 40 minutes to open an airport. First thing we do is switch on the equipment. We check the alarm systems and the ground radio and checking it, testing. You pick up onto the telephone, make sure it's working.
With the airport ready to receive customers, all Winston needs now is some customers. Then, finally, exactly what Winston's hoping for.
Roger, no more to land, no traffic.
See, come on, get it down.
A plane from Ireland lands carrying 3 jockeys for Force-Last. Then Spencer Davies, who sometimes volunteers at the airport when he's not running Amany, greets the visitors.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to Pembrey.
Hey, how are you doing?
Have a good trip.
Yeah, great.
Good.
He then rushes them to immigration.
There's 3 jockeys, and they're racing at the 2 o'clock or the 2:20 race. And they've got to come back here, and they're racing in Ireland this evening. So it's a quick turnaround. There's a taxi laid on with the airport, but obviously he's probably caught in traffic going into first class, so we've got a backup plan B in place, so plan B comes into action.
Plan B means Spencer drives the jockeys to first class himself.
Archie Boy's just ahead of Histoire de Mur, and then comes the God of...
After months of preparation, first class has finally delivered for Winston and the county.
A lot of people didn't think it would ever happen, but it's here now, it's a reality, which is good news for the whole of Command.
But there's another side of town that's a far cry from the extravagance of first class. Here there's often far less money to throw around. Since the decline of the metal industry, unemployment in Llanelli has soared. With bleak prospects, many of the town's youth have turned to drugs. For some, it proves fatal.
Lee, you meant so much to me, words can't even explain.
Former drug user Alan Andrews is trying to help. Offering support to the town's substance and alcohol abusers, Alan runs Choose Life Drop-In Centre. It's a place where people get food and advice to help them regain control of their lives.
If it was a volunteer, we'd have to do the CRV check as well.
But helping the vulnerable break free from drug addiction is incredibly difficult.
You're very good, to be honest.
One of the many young people helped from a life of addiction is Richard Edwards.
When Rich first started coming to us, he was chaotic heroin user. It was quite fun when he used to turn up, because you had to have eyes in the back of your head to watch what he was up to, which we laugh about now.
It is, no, it's true. I mean, like before I was a mess, and I was just always on the go all the time. And I had like CID following me about 24 hours a day.
He reminds me of me, because I would have took anything to get hold of money for drugs, and Rich was in the same condition. But because I knew it, it's almost like I'd warned him before. I remember pulling him saying, if you go in there and don't touch anything, I'm on your case. And he'd be like, I'm not going to do anything. Well, we both knew he was. But I could leave him sit in my office now. I'd leave him go in the safe and open the thing. That's the confidence I have in him. I'd leave him go in our safe and open the petty cash tin and tell him to take so much out. That's the confidence I have in him.
But Richard's still finding it hard to change the habits of his previous life. His pending court case for a drunken night out has even made the headlines.
Alan Andrews, Director of Drug Intervention, Charity Choose Life. He said, I came to know Richard because of his involvement with drugs. He came to us really wanting to turn his life around. He said that Richard Edwards had behaved like an idiot, you know, and drinking alcohol had been the wrong choice. Not in a way, I'm not glad it happened, but in a sense I am, do you know what I mean? So I realised, like, I could have ended up in a police station, you know, woken up thinking, oh, done something worse, you know what I mean, battered someone, or... So I'm just glad there's something as petty as that for me to really realise, like, that I can't be going out drinking, I can't be using drugs, I can't be mixing with people like that.
Alan encourages addicts like Richard to take direct responsibility for their actions. The next day, Alan accompanies Richard to Llanelli's Magistrates' Court. Already on suspended sentence, Richard faces the prospect of jail.
It's just good to be in my life's on track now, get this dealt with today, whatever happens. Just keep on going away and going on.
Yeah. Normally, in this situation, you would have gone berserk on the heroin in the past. Yeah, it's almost like, oh, that's it, I'm going to call chance of prison, numb out, take as much heroin as possible. But you've dealt with it the best you've ever dealt with it.
I haven't viewed it this time before.
Straight.
And then...
Oh, no, that's good, isn't it?
Supported by witness testimony from Alan that Richard is a reformed character, the court sentenced him to community service at Choose Life, under Alan's watchful eye.
I didn't go to jail anyway, so it's all looking good. Got 40 hours community service to do, so just get on with it now, innit?
It would have been a backward step, sending him to prison, because he has put change into his life, and over the coming months you'll see that change come into fruition.
At Amany, it looks like the new business strategy is working. Nimble on its feet, the company is now making money. Even better, the backlog of stock filling the warehouse for the last 6 months has finally been cleared.
It's a lot emptier now and a little bit more hollow, but it's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. We've shifted the stock that we were holding for Godwin's has actually been delivered. The one thing that I've learnt over the last few months is business can be cut and thrust, but what you've got to remember is you still deal with people, and the people side of interacting with businesses is very, very important. And from our perspective, they've been very loyal in supporting us through tough times. And we won't forget that. So when things are going well and where, you know, they need product promptly, then we'll provide that so they can make a living as well.
The business is back on track, but still understaffed, so Owain has to get his hands dirty.
Due to current pressures and resources, I'm going to deliver it myself tomorrow morning. So,
it might end up on the M4. Put this there, right there, and you've got a pad in as well. Happy with that?
You don't want to do it like this, you want to do it like that. This is clutch, mate. Right.
A few miles away, Paul Williams is trying to take control of his desperate financial situation by sorting out his numerous bills.
We've been trying to contact you by phone to discuss your account. We will keep trying to do so until your account is up to date or you have an agreed payment plan with us. What can I tell them? I haven't got their money. Please contact us on the behalf of them to discuss this further. Again, I can't tell them anything. I will be happier when I go bankrupt, you know what I mean? It will take a lot of pressure off me. It's just, you know, the £360 and £150 in court fees is 500 odd quid. If I'm saying I haven't got money, you know what I mean? I can't pay my bills of less than £100, so how can I afford to pay £500 to go bankrupt? I've obviously never done this before, so I wouldn't know what's involved, you know what I mean? I don't know if somebody's going to slap a whip and chain me and what have you, or throw me in jail. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's a total unknown world to me now.
Across town, Alan's trying to help some of his recovering addicts by distracting them from their normal lives.
You won't have him from there. Fucking down the phone! I want to go in there, I do. To be honest with you, I was expecting a cage, I was, not a ring. When they say cage, right then, innit? I was expecting a big cage. Yeah, mind the ring will do, innit? Let's have it.
These trips are more than a diversion. They're an attempt to teach simple life lessons.
They're going to see a night tonight where there's no alcohol. They're not consuming alcohol, and it's almost they can see that they can enjoy themselves. You know, with just the normal things of life. Because the thing is, when you take drugs, you need an extreme event to get you high.
There's nothing wrong with a kick-in now and again, boys. It brightens the horizons.
After the opening of Forslast Racecourse, things at Pembrey Airport are improving. A contract with the military to refuel helicopters is boosting trade. With an MOD firing range nearby, Pembrey is now becoming a popular stopping-off point.
Flying down through the south coast, through Exmoor and Dartmoor, did some navigation around there, then we've flown over via Lundy Island into here. It's the best petrol stop for us to go up into North Wales now, into the mountains.
At the airport's Amelia restaurant, Sue's preparing meals for the military who are planning to land tonight.
How many are they, John? 15.
But the restaurant's underused, so Sue's grateful for the passing trade.
It's good for business. If they come down to see the airport, they use us. If they come to see us, they then know that there's an airport here. So it works both ways. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people in Llanelli didn't realise that it was actually a working airport.
Thanks to Sue's cooking, Pembrey Airport's breakfasts have quite a reputation.
Well, unfortunately, I'd love to stay and have all-day breakfast, because the place is famous for its all-day breakfast. But we're in a bit of a rush to get as much training done as possible.
Across town, Paul Williams has invited Paul Bangs from Christians Against Poverty to see if he can help him manage his debt. Normally, Paul Bangs would try to broker a deal with the finance companies, but because Paul's self-employed, his organisation can offer little support.
Oh, terrible, huh?
At the moment, we haven't got the systems to help self-employed people.
Right.
We're working at it, but we're not there yet.
To be honest, I sat down with the Citizens Advice Bureau last week, and that's the decision I've made. I've actually had the forms from Swansea Court and everything to go for bankruptcy myself.
Yeah. I mean, no court in bankruptcy takes away your furniture, your clothes and everything else like that. And if you had a modest vehicle and that was the means of you earning some living, they wouldn't take that away from you either. The courts are very careful to make sure that you can maintain a standard of living.
Okay.
But when you get into a hopeless situation like this, sometimes that's the only answer you've got.
Could well be another credit card. PNA cards. I'm afraid he's not available at the moment. Can I take a message? Right now. Yeah, one of the mobile companies. Oh. I just don't want to talk to anybody at the moment, you know what I mean? I got nothing realistic to tell them. I feel like I want to lash out, you know? I feel as if there's a bubble around me and I just want to lash out, you know? I just want to get out of it, you know? Yeah. Like, when I first thought I was in debt, I estimated it was 25,000-30,000. And I sat down last week in Citizens Advice Bureau and we, just off the top of my head, came to over 35, close on 40,000. Mm. It shocked me a bit, and that was just off the top of my head, you know? And I think if I was to sit down now and really go through it all, I think maybe I'm going to be sort of 50,000. And I think, God, where did I go, you know? And it's just, oh, it's freaking me out. It's freaking me out.
Having broken free from his own addiction, Richard now wants to help others. Alan takes him along to a drug abuse lecture he's giving to trainee police officers.
We're going into police headquarters today to do a drug talk with new police officers, officers training to be police, to get the police to see drugs from another side. After my talk, hopefully they see that there's a person behind every drug user.
Like you said, you know, the police are more concerned now about like the drug taker than what drugs are handling. They'd rather see them help them, lock them up all the time, and which is...
They know locking them up doesn't do nothing.
No, it just gives them a couple of hours to think where they're going to get their next bit of money from it.
Yeah. It's good training for them. In the future, maybe doing stuff like this, and it's like, I'm a firm believer when you mentor someone to do what you're doing and take over in the end.
Smart.
Well, stand up. But how many of you think looks like someone who took drugs? No one? There she took drugs. That was a 9-year drug spiral. That's quite a severe case. You got things like this where someone's been injecting themselves and quite severe, you know, abscesses. You come across stuff like that. It's not the prettiest of things, but remember there's a person behind each drug user. You will literally see people's lives decay before your very eyes. This is my friend Richard. Any of you seen Richard before? Come to the centre for all different reasons, and we support him and care for him or what have you. He went away to rehab twice, but over the last number of months he's been doing fantastic, and I have every confidence that he's going to make it all the way. He's actually put into practice all he learned in rehab, and he's doing fantastic.
He's good, really good. That's what I want to be doing soon, exactly what he's doing. But it's just showing just my life before. That's all, just like Anna said, through a different head. Do you know what I mean?
It's good for us to have an insight into the work they do. We can understand then when we come to dealing with people in the community, maybe some of the issues that they're going through or some things that have happened in their lives.
It helps for the understanding as well, especially for us as police officers, the understanding that there is a person behind the addiction, and that these people do genuinely need help and need our understanding as much as anyone else's.
At the airport, the expected military chopper arrives for its much-needed fuel and hot suppers. It's more money for Winston in these chilly economic times.
Yeah, that's all fine. Then you can park on the hard standing next to the control tower, just drop the people off.
Good evening, lads. Everyone's okay? 2 coffees.
In the kitchen, Sue's busy feeding the troops.
This is the satellite airfield we use all the time. We come here for day gunning. It's very convenient. Got the fuel park there and a cafe.
They're very good, actually. They'll eat absolutely anything you give them, and they'll be appreciative, I suppose.
We feel very welcome, and keeps us going real quick, and there's no delays. And that means money and time for us when we're on the range with a very limited schedule.
Provide a better service than most military airfields.
Yeah.
I think they had as much as they could in 10 minutes. They only had about 10 minutes each. They've been in before from Yeovil. They're a nice bunch of guys.
But if Pembrey's restaurant is ever going to succeed, it'll need more than just the military to fill it. Next time, will Paul manage to salvage the remnants of his taxi business and stave off financial ruin?
Can't cope with it all.
Can Winston keep the council at bay and finally turn Pembrey Airport into a financial success? And can Alan at Choose Life find a home for a recovering addict?
You know, accommodation, I think, is one of the most fundamental things you need to stabilise your life. Because if your home life isn't okay, how are you going to make any improvements in other areas?